I was on one of those long cross-country drives with my wife. It was around midnight, and we were a couple hours outside of Tucumcari, New Mexico, headed east. I was half listening to my wife chatter away about dinner. Anyway, all of a sudden there was this strange bluish light up on the horizon. I was watching it and thinking it was a police car or something when it moved up, and it was obvious it wasn't a ground vehicle. My wife had stopped talking too at this point. I pulled off the road next to where I saw a pickup truck parked, with two men outside of it, looking at the sky, obviously looking at those lights. One of the men called out to us, "Good evening, ladies. You looking at those lights?" I said, "Well, I'm glad you see them too. Is that normal around here?" The truck had New Mexico plates, and it looked like it belonged to a farmer. "Nope, never seen this before. Crazy. You from out of town?" Right when he said that is when I became really frightened. It wasn't the lights, but that I saw something move in the pickup bed. The farmer-looking guy saw it too. That's when I really felt like I had to get out of there. It was the way he responded to the noise. It was kind of like the way that you look at your friend at a party or something when you're trying to tell him to shut up, but you don't want to say, "Hey, shut up." Does that make any sense to you? I know this whole thing sounds crazy. Meanwhile, I heard a car door open behind me, and my wife was getting out. "Wait a second, honey," I called, and I got back in the car and I motioned frantically for her to get back in. "What's up?" she said. "I was just getting the camera." This was before cell phones, and the one camera we had between us was packed in the trunk. "I'll explain later. Just get in." She sighed, but she got in, and I drove away quickly. "Well, what was that all about?" said my wife. "I don't know. I just felt really weird out there, and that guy kind of freaked me out. I think there was someone in the back of the pickup." "Oh yeah, there totally was," she said. "He started to get out when you were pulling back on the highway." "Really?" "Yeah, but I didn't think it was a big deal. I mean, he could have just been laying down in there looking at the lights." "Yeah, I guess, but that didn't feel right." Anyway, I thought about it a lot over the years. Every once in a while I mentioned it to my wife, and she would just make jokes about it. Years later, I found a Reddit thread where someone was talking about stopping in an accident on an isolated road, only to be freaked out by something that just didn't seem right about the accident. They drove off and saw that the accident victims got up and looked around. That's a common scam in some rural areas. I think that that's what these guys were doing. Put on a light show, and then when someone stops to take a look, a bunch of people come out and rob and, worse, possibly, the people and steal the car. My wife thinks I'm nuts when I talk about this, but I think it's really true. And if you enjoyed this, there's another one you can get from a link on here, or just look at my videos. And please like and subscribe, or if you hated it, please dislike it.